Good morning, everyone. How are you today? Fine? I hope you're fine. Today, inshallah, we will finish Unit 8 in Cambridge Global English 4. Okay? If you remember last time, we talked about how to write an article concerning a theft story, right? And before that, we talked about, or we read an article about the theft of the golden falcon. Today, we will talk about another theft story. Okay, today we will talk about stealing this painting. You know this painting? Do you know it? It's a famous painting. If you know it, what is it called? Remember, try to know. Okay, if you know what's the name of this painting, do you know who painted it? Who was the person, the artist who painted this? Okay, who is the painting of? Is this woman a real woman? I don't know. We will read and know. Do you like this painting? When I see it, it looks amazing. I like it. What about you? Why do you like it or why not? Let's start reading. A fact file. This painting is called the Mona Lisa. Okay, it's famous painting. The Mona Lisa. And the painter, the artist who painted this painting is Leonardo da Vinci. Okay, Leonardo da Vinci, I think he's Italian. The date, the time of painting it, it was painted from 1503 to 1506. So it took almost 3 to 4 years to finish it. Woman's real name in the painting, so this is a real woman, yeah. And her name was Lisa Girardini Giocondo. It's an Italian name, it's difficult. Okay, the museum in which this painting is exposed was and still Le Louvre in Paris since 1804. So now we know some information about the Mona Lisa, the painter, the date, the museum, and the woman's real name. Let's start reading. Pay attention. I'm going to ask you. On August 21st, 1911, Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa, one of the most famous paintings in the world. What happened to it? It was stolen off the wall of the Louvre. What's the Louvre? A famous museum in Paris, France, okay? So I can ask you a question. What's the Louvre? Yes, teacher, it's easy. It's a famous museum in Paris, okay. What's the Mona Lisa? It's one of the most famous paintings in the world. What happened to it? It was stolen of the Louvre, okay? It was such an unthinkable crime that the Mona Lisa wasn't even noticed missing until the following day. What does it mean? It means it was stolen, yeah, right? But no one noticed this until the following day. Okay, so a whole day, no one could see that the Mona Lisa was missing from the Louvre, okay? Who would steal such a famous painting? Who could do that? Why did he do it? Why did he steal the Mona Lisa? Of course, for money, okay? Was the Mona Lisa lost forever? Can we see it again? We don't know. The second paragraph, on Tuesday, August 22nd, 1911, B. Road. Who is B. Road? A painter who was visiting the Louvre. By chance, he was visiting the Louvre. He walked into the Salon Carré, where the Mona Lisa had been on display for 5 years. For 5 years. So the Mona Lisa was exposed in the Louvre for 5 years. And this painter went there just to see the Mona Lisa in the Salon Carré. What happened? But on the wall where the Mona Lisa used to be, there was a blank space, an empty space. Yani there was no Mona Lisa. That's a shock. Where is the Mona Lisa? We will read and know. The Paris police was called, and shortly after midday, midday, about 60 investigators were sent to the Louvre Museum. Investigators? Teacher, What's the meaning of investigators? Investigators means policemen who come just to write down information, to know who did the crime, okay? So about the midday, 60 investigators were sent to the Louvre Museum to look into the crime, to collect information, to know what happened, okay? They closed the museum. Which museum? Yeah, the Louvre Museum, excellent. And continued the search. The search for what? For the Mona Lisa, or the thief who stole the Mona Lisa. The next paragraph. The Louvre was closed for a whole week. It was closed for a whole week. Why? To help the investigation. Investigation, yes. Collecting the information to know what happened. Okay? When it was reopened after a week, a line of people, a lot of people came to stare at the empty space on the wall where the Mona Lisa had once hung. Teacher, what does it mean? It means a whole week the Louvre is closed. After a week it was reopened. So a lot of people came to see what? The Mona Lisa? No. To see only the wall where the Mona Lisa was exposed, because now it's not there, it's stolen, okay? No one could believe that someone could get away with this crime so easily. People didn't think that the thief would escape in this easy way with the Mona Lisa, okay? The next paragraph, investigators. Teacher, what's the meaning of investigators? I said, and you will remember, I know. Investigators mean policemen who come to know the information, who did the crime, okay? Investigators started to interview guards and workers to find out when the Mona Lisa went missing, because no one broke into the museum. No one broke in a door to enter the museum. When it was closed, what does it mean? It means now the investigators are in the museum. They want to write down information. So they asked the guards of the museum and the people who worked for the museum. Okay, the next page. One worker remembered seeing the painting around 7 o'clock on Monday morning, a day before it was discovered missing. Yeah, we said they spent a whole day till they knew that it was missing. So a day before it was discovered missing. But he noticed it had gone. It disappeared. When he walked by the Salon Carré an hour later, what does it mean? At 7 o'clock he saw the Mona Lisa. After an hour he didn't see it. So he thought that the museum official, someone who worked in the museum, had moved it to clean it, to put it somewhere else, okay? Further research, other kinds of research, discovered that the usual guard in the Salon Carré was at home. What? Yes, the guard who used to be in this salon was at home. At home, so he left work. Yes. Why? Because one of his children was ill, was sick, so he had to leave. Okay? And his replacement, another guard, left his post for a few minutes around 8 o'clock. Another guard came to take his place in the Salon Carré, but at around 8 o'clock he had to leave, he also, okay? Okay. Investigators thought someone had made off with the painting between 7 and 8:30 on Monday morning. Investigators interviewed all the workers in the Louvre and famous fingerprint experts. Fingerprint, okay? People who can check the fingerprints came or looked for clues, evidence too. But they couldn't find the thief, so they did everything. They knew only the time of the theft, but they didn't know who was the thief or how did he steal the Mona Lisa. Okay, let's revise what we said until now. We said that there is a museum in Paris. It's called the Louvre. Inside the Louvre, a famous painting called the Mona Lisa. But one day, people discovered that the Mona Lisa, by chance, was missing from the Louvre. And this was a day after the theft. So policemen and investigators were called to come to the Louvre. And they closed the Louvre for a week. And they collected information. But until now, they didn't know who stole it or how, okay? 2 years later, after 2 years, the thief made contact. He contacted a well-known antique dealer. What's the meaning of well-known? Well-known means famous. Antique means old, valuable things. And dealer means someone who, like a trader, gives money to take goods, okay? So the thief, after 2 years, contacted a well-known antique dealer called Alfredo Jerry, okay? Before I read, can you guess what does the thief want? Yeah, of course, he wants to sell the Mona Lisa for a lot of money, okay? He said that he had the stolen Mona Lisa and would sell it to him for 500,000 lire. Gary, the trader, the dealer, agreed. Say yes, okay. He agreed to pay the price and arranged to meet the thief in his hotel room. The next day, the following day, the thief opened a wooden trunk like a box, okay? And then he took out some old shoes, a pair of trousers, and a shirt as a kind of camouflage, okay? Then he removed a false bottom, and there was the Mona Lisa. Okay, there was the Mona Lisa. Jerry, the dealer, recognized the Louvre stamp at the back of the painting. This was the real Mona Lisa. Gary left the hotel. He left the hotel and called the police. The thief, Vincenzo Perugia, was arrested and locked up in prison. Okay? Until now, teacher, we know the name of the thief and how he was arrested. But how did he come inside the Louvre? We will see this now. The story of the theft was much simpler than many people thought. He's not an expert in crimes. It came by chance. How? Vincenzo Perugia, born in Italy, he was born in Italy, had worked in Paris at the Louvre. He worked in the museum, okay? In 1908, Perugia he was walking into the museum and noticed the salon carré empty. No one was there, even the guard, because he was at home. Okay, very good. He grabbed the Mona Lisa, gone to the staircase, and then removed the painting from its frame, okay? He removed the frame and ran off with the Mona Lisa under the painter's smock to hide it. So it happened by chance. He didn't intend to steal the Mona Lisa. It came by chance. And this is, of course, totally wrong. It's a crime. Now, we finished reading. Teacher, that's it? No, you have to answer with me some questions. Question 1. When did they notice that the Mona Lisa wasn't there? When? I'm talking about the time. Yeah, I hear you. You're right. On August 22nd, 1911. Question 2 for Ayman. Think with me. How long had it been on display in the Louvre? How long? The period of time. Yeah, you're right, Ayman. Excellent. For 5 years. Okay, question 3. Think with me, Anas. When were the investigators called to the museum? When were they called to come to the museum? Yeah, let's see. After midday. This is excellent. Question 4. How long was the museum closed for, this is very easy teacher, for a whole week. For a whole week. Question 5. What did visitors do when the museum was reopened? Can I hear you? Can you see the answer? Can you read it? Yes. They went to see the space where the Mona Lisa used to be, the empty space only. Question 6. When did the thief make contact? When did he make a contact? Yes, I think you're right. After 2 years. And these were the questions, and this was the story. I hope you go back to the worksheet, answer your questions. If you have anything to ask about, I'm there for you. Goodbye.